Hey everybody, it's Peter again for MLB Trade Rumors and Discussion. It is Tuesday, April 7th, 2020. I'm going to keep this going every single day as much as I can, but I'm going to start changing this and talking about all these different sports every day. I may even change the name of this just for the fact that I want to kind of expand my talk, but I do want to speak about baseball today for sure. Before I get up to the Kansas City Royals, because that's what we're up to, there's a big thing going around saying there may be baseball in May, and I am all for that. First of all, it's going to be in Arizona, right? So there's really no difference for the Diamondbacks. It'd be great for them to stay there. They kind of have an advantage. However, However, I know most players just want to play. So it may not be ideal, but so what? At least we're going to be able to have baseball. So I'm all for this. It's not guaranteed, but just think about this. We're in a such a horrible situation in the world. We can't go out much, whether you go shopping or quick, get a little exercise. You're not out for more than probably an hour, right? If you're out, most people. You need something to tap into, and movies is great, but having sports would be wonderful for the world. And that's just also gonna hopefully other teams piggyback, whether it's NBA, NHL, and everything else does this. I'm looking for anything from the MLB because this is a way where people can just sit back and take their mind off of it. And it's hopefully by June or July, I would say more July to August, we can have everybody back to normal and everybody in the stadiums, right? I know they can work this out, and I'm all for this. So let's hope baseball does get in May, and if they can just start getting ready in May and then play towards the end of May, maybe we could get a 162 game season. Maybe we can get a 120 something game season. Regardless of what they do, at least we will get something, right? And it's already April 7th, and it's already going to go fast. Believe me, May is right around the corner. It's just the way it goes. So hopefully it happens. So let's talk about the Kansas City Royals first. They made a big move that nobody's even talking about because it was such a low 1 year deal from Akai Franco. I think that guy is going to do very well in Kansas City. I think he's going to bat 280 and hit around 30 something home runs just for the fact that he's not in Philly no more. He has power, and you're going to throw him in the middle of a lineup of Soler and Dozier who can play. Merrifield is at the top. Mondesi can play. I like Kansas City's team. The problem with Kansas City is they don't have pitching, right? Keller is a good pitcher. I like him. He's a little inconsistent. Duffy can't stay healthy, and then after that we get trouble. I've seen Jacob Junis, some flashes of brilliance from him, and then you also just the next game you're like, what the hell? Montgomery is okay, another guy who you just they don't have enough in the pitching staff. I love Ian Kennedy as a closer. That no one's talked about how well he did as a closer. I believe he only blew 4 saves. He had 30 saves last year, but a 3.5 ERA around there. Wonderful. Who the hell doesn't want that? And plus his arm strength, is strong from being a starter all those years. So I love the Ian Kennedy move. But after that, they need to get pitching you just need starting pitching. It's not going to work. But I like the way Kansas City plays baseball. I've always do it, right? They have a bunch of guys that can play, and Soler is the guy to build around. Nobody expected this from Soler. Last year, this guy was a freaking animal. And if Mondesi can stay healthy and you keep Merrifield, who's a solid ball player, or if you want to flip Merrifield, but you better get a pitcher back. You better get a pitcher because you need a pitcher. So they have a good team. I love Mondesi. I really do. If that guy can stay healthy, he can fly. So I like that team. I like what Kansas City can do. Again, the problem is when you don't have pitching, eventually it catches up to you. But they're not in a great division, right? They're not in the toughest division in the world. Teams are getting better, right? Chicago got better. Minnesota's a beast. But at that point, you still can do well. You still could be able to change your team because anytime you have 4 or 5 hitters in the lineup that can play, you always have a chance, right? If you have 5 hitters, 3 guys who can hit you 30 plus home runs, other guys who can get you triples and bat 280 to 300, you have a shot. But if you have guys coming in who can't stay healthy and can't even go 4 or 5 innings, what are you going to do? It's a shame for Duffy because I like Danny Duffy. He's a solid pitcher, but the guy can't stay healthy. So you cannot just have Keller, who honestly to me is not an ace. He's really more of a number 2. You can't have just this guy being your only guy. I've watched Kansas City last year when they've got pitching good jobs from Junis or Sparkman or whoever pitched at one point good. They could play. Don't let the record fool you. They have some really solid players. A lot of people don't pay attention. Some teams are only 1 or 2 players away from being dangerous. Remember, it's not too long ago that Minnesota wasn't that great, and Minnesota got better. You'd be surprised how adding one or two players just changes, or just having a prospect come up and giving that spark. It happens all the time to teams. Some teams need to go through it, and I do like Kansas City, but they're probably about 2 years away from being probably a little dangerous, all depending on the moves. Anyway, guys, hopefully baseball starts soon, and again, I'm going to talk a little bit more about different sports coming up tomorrow. Talk to you then. Bye.